The scenery here on the Zeiser Alm in northern Italy is amazing. But it's going to flash by for Thomas and me. We're doing a week-long running course at an altitude of 1,800 meters. And we're not the only ones. Some of the world's best long-distance runners are here too. 17 athletes from Kenya and Ethiopia, including world champions and world record holders. They've just come back from a run.
How are you?
I feel good.
Feel good?
Yeah, the training was okay.
That guy just ran 20 kilometers. I jogged to keep fit. I want to know how I compare with the elite. A race at the top of the world should reveal that.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
First, they want to know how fit I am. Huber Rossi does medical checks on top athletes. Now he's testing me. He checks my sweat and my blood.
For example, Kamilla at 8 km per hour has 2 millimolar of blood lactate. Maybe a big athlete, 2 millimolar, 20 km per hour.
It's great finding out what goes on behind the scenes of a professional training program like this. The runners get a daily massage. This is where I meet Coach Claudio Baradelli. He's been training runners in Kenya for 7 years. I'm surprised that massage is part of his job.
I spend most of the time in Kenya, and in Kenya you need to be a coach, sometimes a bit of therapist, a bit of everything, you know.
Friend?
Yeah, friend, of course. That's probably the first thing. So I know them quite well, and they trust me, so that's why I'm doing also this kind of assistant.
Is he doing his job well?
I say yes, otherwise you'll see something.
Because of him.
Set up with the latest gear and with the eyes of professionals on me, I set off on my first run. Accompanying me are Sara and Francesca. They're also in the training crew, and yes, they do motivate me. We run fast, and though I try my best, I soon reach my limits. The altitude here is 1,700 meters higher than at home in Berlin. The air is just too thin for me.
Ora che aumentavamo, eravamo già.
They run 7 km in 43 minutes, and the average speed is 6 minutes per k. That means 10 km per hour. Good in altitude.
Only now do I realize that someone famous is watching me. Sports doctor Gabriele Rosa is like the big daddy of marathon runners. Currently, some 200 athletes are getting medical supervision and advice in his training program. Most come from Kenya.
Without Kenya, you don't know nothing about running. Kenya is the best place for training. Incredible rough road, forest, altitude, athletes. Trust me.
The best long-distance runners in the world come from Kenya. Because it's the rainy season there at the moment, they're training here in the mountains. Thomas and I get to accompany them, but in a car. We'd never keep up on foot. The conditions here are ideal for training. Far away from friends and family, the runners can fully concentrate on preparing for the start of the new season in September. We're impressed by how intensively they train. Claudio Baradelli describes the runners' normal day.
Waking up 6:30 in the morning, out for training, back for breakfast, shower, massage, therapy, maybe lunch and then a nap, and then second run in the evening around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, dinner, and then going to bed.
How many kilometers do they run a week?
Average of 180 to 200 kilometers a week, yeah.
Only the weather can interrupt their strict schedule. We pass the time by playing table football. Thomas and I initiate a Germany-Kenya table football competition. Runner Daniel Kiprugut takes over the camera. We wouldn't have a chance against these guys in any running event, but in table football, Thomas and I win easily, 10-3. And we've broken the ice.
Our relation here, we are staying like brothers and sisters. We are friends and very, very close friends. We share ideas on how to run, on how to do best. We can help each other so that we can push each other.
Prishka Jeptu is 27 years old. She has 10 brothers and sisters, and she's the only runner among them. This year, she won the Paris Marathon.
To come in good running, you need to be self-disciplined, yes, and follow what the coach tells you always. Never hesitate in anything. When he tell you today you are going to run this and this, you tell him it's okay.
I started running when I was in primary in Kenya. We were just running for fun. From home to school, I usually go for 1.5 kilometers. It was not really far, but we were really moving very fast. So running to me is something common, something from blood.
Matthew is 25. He's a highly successful cross-country runner, but Coach Baradelli believes his real destiny lies in marathons. For Matthew, running's about much more than just winning titles.
I stayed at home for 2 years because we had no money to go to school. So when I started running, I got some sponsors, and then I started paying for my brothers and my 2 sisters. They are really proud of me because I brought up the family.
These days, he doesn't see his siblings very often. He and the other athletes travel a great deal. And they have fans all over the world. This Italian came up to the Zeiser Alm to see them. They're unbelievably fit, he says. I watch them on TV. And if I take part in a race, I see them at the start, but then they're gone. I know that's what it'll be like for me in the 13-kilometer Zeiser Alm race, an event set up to promote the region, as I learned from the organizer. Hubert Unterweger tells me running attracts tourists. There's a running park with 9 tracks on the mountainside. Recommendations from the professionals are a big help. It would cost around €500,000 to bring all the star runners here just for the race. But because the Zeiser Alm provides the athletes' training camp here, they happily join in, out of competition, of course. It'll be a walk in the park for the fast guys, but for me, we'll see. I try my best, but right at the start, there's a 200-meter climb. My legs aren't used to this. Abraham Felike is first across the finish line. He doesn't even look tired. I know I do. I arrived 5 minutes later, having chosen to run a course that was 5 kilometers shorter.
Good athlete. Very good athlete.
The coach is pleased with me. I was a long way from winning, but after all, I was running with some of the world's best athletes.